Mr. President.
Senator from Oklahoma.
Yeah, first let me comment. The senator from Ohio is right on target. I know that when we did the authorization bills, we actually have language now that we put in when we did to try to encourage people while they're still in high school to find what they want to do with their lives. You know, one of the problems you have right now is we have a great economy, the best economy that we've had in my lifetime. But the bad side of that is there's a lot of competition out there, and we want to make sure that people are directed into areas where they really can enjoy life and where the market will work in their favor. And so we were very much concerned about that. There are two bills we've done so far that we have the new language in there to encourage people to use pilot programs in high school to know what direction they want to go with their lives. Mr. President, this week we voted on two very important bills, the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act and the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. Unfortunately, my colleagues on the Democrat side voted to block these bills, but I'd like to thank my colleagues, Senator Graham and Senator Sass, for their leadership on these bills. And I'd like to thank Senator McConnell for his efforts to bring these bills to the floor. Now, this short comment period I've got here, it does have a happy ending, and I'm anxious to share some things with some people. If you look at these two bills, first, you talk about Senator Sass's bill, Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, a bill which I've co-sponsored in the past and would ensure that a baby who survives an abortion would receive the same treatment as any other child that was naturally born and at the same age. Now, that's interesting. How many people out there realize that if someone goes through an abortion and they were not successful in killing the unborn baby, that when they survive and they're out and they're breathing, that they don't get the same treatment that any other baby would get? People are not aware of that. And so that's what this bill is all about. That's just morally right, and I don't see why there'd be any disagreement about it. The bill's not even about abortion, it's about infanticide. 28 years ago, I came down here in this very chamber to tell a story of Ana Rosa Rodriguez. This is what I said. Keep in mind, Mr. President, this is 28 years ago. I said, quote, Mr. Chairman, there's a big misconception regarding abortion and the issue of women and their rights to protect their bodies. It's not that right that I object to, but it's the right that is given them to kill an unborn fetus, an unborn child. I want to share with you a story that my colleague Chris Smith told me some time ago on this very floor. Ana Rosa Rodriguez is an abortion survivor. At birth, she was a healthy 3-pound baby girl, except for her injury. She is missing one arm. Ana survived a botched abortion. Her mother attempted to get an abortion in her 32nd week of pregnancy when she was perfectly healthy, 8 weeks past what New York State at that time said would legally allow. And in the unsuccessful abortion attempt, the baby's right arm was ripped off. However, they failed to kill Ana Rosa. She lived. Now, pro-life supporters agree that nightmare situations like Rodriguez's case are probably not common, but abortion-related deaths and serious injuries occur while more frequently than most people are aware. It's amazing that and I'm still quoting from 28 years ago, it's amazing that we can pay so much attention to issues such as human rights abroad and can allow the violent destruction of over 26 million children here at home. We are fortunate that Ana was not one of those children. She survived. Well, that was 1992. And today, we still don't have explicit federal protections for babies who survive the brutal abortion process. As I said, this issue is not about abortion, but about caring for a baby outside the womb. This baby is alive. It's a baby that's living in the real world. The need for these protections has become even clearer as we see states like New York and Illinois allowing abortion for virtually any reason up to the point of birth, and support infanticide by removing protections for infant born alive after a failed abortion. Just a few years ago, after that speech, and that would have been in 1997, I was on the floor with my good friend Rick Santorum to try to pass a partial birth abortion ban and in the practice of the late-term abortions. And fortunately, we won. We won the battle against partial birth abortions, and finally ended that practice in 2003. That ban was upheld by the Supreme Court in 2007. But we have yet to pass legislation banning late-term abortion. Only 7 countries allow abortion after 20 weeks, including United States and North Korea. Now that's horrific. The United States is supposed to be an example in regards of global human rights, and yet we're on par with North Korea when it comes to protecting the unborn. Senator Graham's Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act would help roll back the practice by prohibiting abortion after 20 weeks post-fertilization. And the reason that he's using this 20 weeks, there's one agreement that no one takes issue with, and that is babies feel pain after that time. Most people say that babies feel pain greater than adults do. And so that's why that 20 weeks was used in the legislation. This is another common sense bill that should not divide us along partisan lines. A baby's a baby, whether it's in or outside the womb, and each baby deserves a chance to live as an individual created in the image of God. There is still much more we need to do to end the abortion on demand culture, but thankfully we have the most pro-life president we've had in history. This January, President Trump became the first sitting president to attend the annual March for Life. It's a rally in Washington. Hundreds of pro-life Oklahomans joined the president and tens of thousands of Americans in the march. I had a chance to meet many of these Oklahomans, many of them extremely young as in high school. They were here marching. They asked me how to respond when a radical left attacks their views, and I told them to be kind, but not to be afraid to voice their opinion. After all, they're right. Under President Trump's leadership, we've protected the Hyde Amendment, we reinstated and expanded the Mexico City policy and stripped abortion providers like Planned Parenthood from using the Title X funding for abortions. And not just that, under this president, we have also confirmed 193 new judges. That's the largest number of judges in this particular time frame of a new president. 193 new judges, the second highest total in history at this point of the presidency. Now, these judges actually understand and uphold the Constitution. I haven't polled them myself, but I would suspect that the vast majority, or maybe all of them, are very sensitive to the sanctity of human life. The need to stand up for our babies is as important today as it was when I made the speech in 1992 and in 1997. And I'm looking forward to building on the successes under this president. Here we have something happening that's unusual now. We have a president who's very pro-life, and we also have a lot of new judges that we suspect would be conservative constitutional judges. So we will overcome evil with good by upholding and affirming the dignity and inherent worth of every human life, and we will seize the opportunity that we have today. With that, I yield the floor, suggest the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.